Welcome to the Dietitian Side Hustle podcast. My name is Katie Dodd, and I'm a nutrition entrepreneur. I spent 7 years as a side hustler before diving into entrepreneurship full time. Before making the leap, I was bringing in 6 figures through my side hustle. If I can do it, you can too. This podcast is for dietitians, interns, and students who want to be inspired to start or perfect the side hustle of their dreams. Let's do this. Welcome to the 77th episode of the Dietitian Side Hustle podcast. What can you do with money? Now, today's episode is actually coming to you from my Facebook group every Monday at 2:30 Pacific Standard Time, 5:30 Eastern Standard Time. I go live in the Dietitian Side Hustle Facebook community, and I talk about a lot of different things. Now, I went live in there on February 7th of this year, and I talked all about the things you could do with money. And I thought, gosh, this is a really good conversation. I should share this with the podcast. So I'm going to go ahead and cut and send you over to the audio from my live show. I hope you enjoy it. So today, you guys, I'm going to talk about money. I love talking about money. I think it's really helpful that, when we have more dietitians talking about money, normalizing it, breaking down some of the stigma that we have with money. So I was listening to an audiobook called We Should All Be Millionaires by Rachel Rodgers. Last week, I interviewed a dietitian for my podcast who actually has Rachel Rodgers as a business coach, and I didn't know who she was. So just out of curiosity, because I love business coaches, I was looking into who is this human? And then yesterday, a fellow dietitian recommended this book, We Should All Be Millionaires by Rachel Rodgers. I was like, wow, okay, a couple dietitians are talking about this person. She must be good. So I went ahead and bought this audiobook on Audible yesterday and started listening to it. And oh my goodness, you guys, it is so good. So this morning when I was listening to it, there was one phrase that Rachel Rodgers said, and I'm kind of paraphrasing. It's an audiobook. So like when she says something, I can go back and like rewind and listen to it. But sometimes like it's hard to remember word for word. It's not like a paper book where I just underline it, which I'm going to buy this book and I'll write the heck out of it. I like to listen to books first and just really soak it in. And then I like to read the book and underline and note and implement and all the things. So what Rachel said was, she was talking about money, and she was talking a lot about women and how women approach money and mindset and all these things. And she said, it's not about money. It's about what you can do with that money. And that really got me thinking, because I thought, oh, that is so good. It's not about the money. It's about what you can do with that money. So I talk to a lot of dietitians in this community, and I've heard so many dietitians when they start talking about their side hustle dreams, their aspirations. And when the topic of money comes in, so many people make a point to clarify that they're not in it for the money. It's not about the money, and I will even share, based on my own experience, when I really started diving into entrepreneurship, I was kind of uncomfortable talking about money. And you guys know me, I talk about money a lot now. I'm an open book, but I was uncomfortable. And I often felt a need to justify wanting to make money. Like I'm a chronic volunteer. I volunteer within the Academy of Nutrition and Dietetics within CDR. Like I volunteered my entire career. I have this volunteer problem and I'm always volunteering. And when I first started my business, I almost felt like I needed to throw in there, like, well, yes, I'm making money and I'm charging, but I volunteer a lot. And I kind of recognized that was just an insecurity I had. And we shouldn't feel apologetic about wanting to make money or pursue business at all. But I've just noticed that there's a lot of dietitians who feel that they need to defend their desire to want to make money, provide justification, emphasize it's not all about the money. And I just want to provide, like, right off the front here, guys, I just want to say it is okay to make money. It is okay to make a lot of money, and it's okay to want to make money, because it's not about the money. It's about what you can do with the money. So after I heard that phrase on the audiobook today, I started really thinking, and I actually started taking little notes in my phone. I'm like, man, what are all these cool things that we could do with money? Because I'm in a position right now where I am in my 5th week as a full-time entrepreneur. I would not be here if it wasn't for money. I'm in a situation where I can drive my kids to school. They are able to come home and not go to after school program because I'm here. I'm able to have flexibility in my schedule, do what I want to do. I go to the gym every morning with my dad, which is so much fun. I get to help and serve dietitians and live this amazing life where I get a little teary-eyed almost every single day because I'm so grateful that I am living this full-time entrepreneur life, and I wouldn't be here if it wasn't for money. So let's talk about the things that we can do with money. First off, this one's kind of obvious. We can buy things. And I just want to emphasize, if you want to make money to buy a thing, that is okay. We are all individuals and we all have things that we prioritize and value. And if something of value to you is to purchase an item, that's okay. Nothing wrong with that at all. When I first started my side hustle, well, not first, but when I first really started like focusing on setting financial goals for my side hustle, my goal was to make $300 a month because I wanted to be able to pay a bill, right? That was important to me. But thinking of things that you might want to buy, like, oh, I'm pretty obsessed with my blend jet. I don't know if you guys have a blend jet, but it is a portable blender. It's like, it's like it's like a blender that you drink out of. I don't have it here, but I love walking around blending it. I think it's really cool. But that is, something that I've bought that gives me joy. A lot of things that we buy can also provide convenience for our lives. It can just make life a lot easier if we have a certain product or something in our lives, and that's okay. So if you want to make money to buy things, that is perfectly fine. Money can also get you things that provide self-care for people who enjoy massages, who, even having a gym membership or maybe a membership for, yoga or something that provides self-care to you. Money can give you that. You could also take your money and invest it and use your money to make you more money, which is so cool. You could do that, in all kinds of financial investments and real estate, all the things. You can use money to go on vacations, which a lot of you value travel, time with family, time with friends. You could even use that money to like take time off and have a staycation where you just really focus on spending time with the ones you love. When you have more money, you are able to donate to causes that you believe in, things that you're so passionate about. You have money that you could actually give to make a difference. Even thinking about social media, and we see all of these GoFundMes. And when you see someone who maybe you went to high school with or someone you're friends with and something horrible happened to them and they're in need for money, if you have money, you can donate to their GoFundMe. You can also use your money to build up and change the profession. We hear a lot about dietitians talking about our profession and the changes that we want to see. If we have money, we can use that to give scholarships, to make changes, to donate, to do things to build up and empower our own profession. You can use money to hire people, which is a win-win. I'll tell you, it has been such a joy on my end to be able to hire other dietitians to write for my blog. It makes me think of when I first got like my first side hustle writing gigs and how much joy that filled me with. I'm like, oh, yay, I get to give that to other dietitians. And it helps me because I have other people who are helping to build my brand. You can also use money to leave your full-time job. Now, this is what you guys have seen me on my own journey do, is that I have been able to build up enough money in my side hustle to where now I am a full-time entrepreneur. We can use money to build our dreams, guys. Money ultimately gives us back more time. It gives us financial freedom, and it's not a bad thing. I just really want to emphasize this, that money is not a bad thing. One of my business coaches, he always says that the amount of money in your bank account is a direct reflection of how many people you're helping. And I'll be honest with you guys, I've never had so much money in my bank account. It's very weird. But I also know that I've probably never been able to help as many people at the scale that I am right now as a dietitian online. So another thing just for you guys to keep in mind is that good people do good things with money. So we want to have more people out there like dietitians. Dietitians are awesome. And quite frankly, I want to see more dietitians with money because I know they're going to do amazing things. They are going to use that money to build up their programs and services and help more people. And we know that dietitians are world changers, right? I mean, my goodness, so much of people's health and well-being has to do with their food and how they show up and take care of themselves. And that's a lot of things that dietitians help people with. So for me, I want to see you guys with more money because I know that you are good people and you're going to do good things with that money. So what I really want to encourage you guys to do is just take some time to reflect. I want you to reflect on what is your relationship with money. When we talk about it, how does it make you feel? When, you talk about building a side hustle or building a business or bringing in multiple streams of income, do you have any like unease when you talk about it? Or do you feel like a need to defend yourself or to clarify like, oh, I'm not in it for the money? And I'll tell you right now, I don't think that any one of you in the dietitian side hustle community are just in it for the money, right? You're all good people and you would all use that money for good things to benefit you, to benefit the community, to benefit your families. Like I know that off the bat, but the question is, how do you feel about it? So take some time to reflect. What is your relationship with money? Do you feel guilt or do you feel like you need to rationalize wanting to make money, kind of like I did in the beginning? And then I guess the last thing is, what could you do if you had more money to change your life and to change the world? So again, more money has given me this opportunity to be a full-time entrepreneur, to be more present with my family, to do things that I never thought were possible, and to help more dietitians and other people at a higher level. So what you can do is, if like this is really interesting to you and you're like, oh my gosh, Katie, I totally want to learn more about money. I guess really my first recommendation for you is to set some big goals for your side hustle. Or if you're a full-time entrepreneur, set some really big goals and have a plan for making money. What is the amount of money that you want to make in your side hustle? Make some smart goals and create a plan to get there. Another thing I'd recommend is Christine Diane. She is an amazing dietitian who has the podcast called Make More Money as a Dietitian. She has like over 100 episodes that you can go binge listen to now, like for free. And she talks so much about money mindset and dietitians. And it's such an amazing, amazing podcast if you've never listened to it. So that's definitely another resource. And then finally, the last tip I would have is just talk about money more often, like normalize it, and let's not make it this thing that's taboo and is uncomfortable. So that is what I wanted to share with you guys today. Hey guys, I hope that you enjoyed the conversation talking all about money. I hope that that sparks something in you to maybe self-reflect more about how you think about money and how we can use money to better our lives and better the world. It's, you heard me say it, money's not a bad thing. Money is a good thing, and we need to change the way that we think about it, and we need to change the way that we talk about it. So if you are not a member of the Dietitian Side Hustle Facebook group, be sure to head on over to Facebook, search Dietitian Side Hustle, join my community. I'll make sure to I'll try to add you soon. Sometimes it takes me a little bit to get you in, but it's a growing community of dietitians and RDs to be just like you, who either have a side hustle, want to start a side hustle, want to create more streams of income. So it's a wonderful community. Go ahead and head on over there and join in on the conversation. Have an amazing day, guys.